All right, guys, for everyone who's joined us, we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Thank you for joining. Please leave comments. It's going to be a fun combo.
Facebook.
All right, that was my fault. Kind of screwed up the countdown. So let's just go ahead and get this thing started. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today,
Cheers.
all right, cheers, brother. I'm joined by my friend Johnny, better known on social media as Smokey Cue. Johnny has a really big Instagram following, currently has over 5,000 followers. And I gotta say, when I first got on Instagram, and I'm still, Instagram, I don't know. I'm more of the YouTube guy. Instagram has always been a little bit funky to me. Um,
Yeah.
but the first, when I created like my barbecue handle on Instagram and I got on there, and really the first person who reached out and made a personal connection was Johnny. And I have been checking him out, the whole time. I don't know, it's probably been a couple of years now.
At
And
least.
I think that Johnny is one of the nicest, purest guys that I've seen, on social media, expressing his love for barbecue, and just reaching out and making that personal connection. So I did just want to thank you, man, for just kind of showing me that, out in the social media space where, you may not necessarily get to, interact with people one on one. You've kind of showed me that that is possible, that there is a way. So I just wanted to say that to kick things off. So how you doing, man? How's it going?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm coming out of my little hole that I was in for about a month, almost 2 months now. But I just want to say something. It's kind of funny to see. We were both hitting Instagram and YouTube very, very hard in the beginning of 2020,
Yeah.
or actually 2019. It's kind of funny how you surpassed me on YouTube, but I surpassed you on Instagram. So I mean, we went our separate directions, but we're both doing the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. I think, like I said, I just kind of gravitated more to the YouTube, and I was kind of
Yeah.
going nuts, thinking, okay, how do I do both? And then I just decided, I think it's just best to kind of do what feels right. So I'm
Yeah.
still on Instagram, but I'm not on it. Um, quite as much.
You're not
But
on as much as I am, that's for sure.
yeah, but that is cool, and I've been amazed really that there's such a significant barbecue community like on
Oh yeah.
Instagram, because I see it, with you. Like I know you do the Thursday
We do
pitmaster
pitmasters
chat,
chat
right?
7 o'clock on Thursday, which is on Zoom. We just had our second year anniversary.
That's
So
awesome.
we've been going strong for 2 years, and there's been a lot of people that have tried to copy what we do, but they just have not been able to hold it. And I have to thank Matt Williams, Grilled Chill and Repeat, Blue Smoke Blair, Erica Roby. Those two have been my two cohorts on that thing that have just kept me driving. They're basically my other two admins on it. So cheers,
Okay.
Todd. Uh, but yes, they have kept me going. Even, a lot of you guys know back on January 28th. I don't know if the YouTube crowd knows. I haven't done YouTube video in probably almost 8 months. But back on January 28th, my mom sadly passed away after a short battle with leukemia. She had 22 good days at home, and that night she just decided to make her final exit and went. So
Sorry to
yeah,
hear that.
well, that's why I say I've been down on a hole a little bit, kind of, just kind of going through the motions and everything.
Yeah.
But the barbecue and the butcher community has totally surrounded me with love. And I mean, the best interview I did, or the best live video I did, was actually the night of the 28th. Um, I just got off doing a live with the retail butcher Travis on Butcher's Lounge Live. And I went outside to go cover up the odor, checked on my mom. Before I went out, she was fine. Spent about 20 minutes outside, came back in, gone. And
Mm,
all hell just broke loose from there. So
got it.
was yeah, it's hard, but I'm getting back at it, and I'm like Chris from White Bull, so I'm just kicking every day in the face so far.
Well, first let me, my condolences.
Thank you,
Um,
man.
I didn't know it, but I saw you did, you do those where you go live on Instagram, like, not every day, but a couple of
Oh,
days.
oh no, it's pretty much every day.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay,
I'll
every day. Um,
every day, every day.
and I caught one, I want to say earlier, might have been earlier this week or might have been last week, and you mentioned your mom, and that was
Yeah.
the first that I had heard about it. So I'm really sorry to hear that.
Well, the first live that I did after it happened was actually the next morning. It was the 29th, and thank you, Barbecue Mike. It was actually the 29th of January. I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne. Uh, so, I went out, I cooked ribs. My mom absolutely loved ribs. Something was driving me to cook ribs. And I sat out there at the odor, and I'm like, I ought to just go live. I didn't know what was going to come out of my mouth, you know, how it was going to be received or anything like that. Uh, but I just talked. I talked, and I wept, openly wept, and for showing pure emotion. I did lose 10 followers for that, and to those 10 subscribers that decided to unfollow me for
Yeah.
showing emotion, I don't want you back.
Yeah. Peace
I,
out.
I'm better off without you.
Right.
So it's it is what it is. So some of the lives are harder to do than others. I, I like to pride myself as a person. I love to give everybody a fair shake. I don't care where you come from, the walk of life that you're in, whatever. As long as you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. You don't screw me over. We're all good.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it's good to hear you say that both just the function of getting out back out there, making barbecue, and then just going live and having that connection, with the people that really do, get it, because part of,
Absolutely.
yeah, to me, part of, I mean, you barbecue, you make good barbecue because you want to share that food. It's a communal experience, so I'm glad that was
Oh,
therapeutic for
absolutely.
you. um
Speaking of communal
yeah.
experiences, thank you, Scott Malone, Benbow Malone. Speaking of communal experiences, you live out in Clayton. I'm down here in the
Yeah.
Bay Area. Why haven't we hooked up yet? That's my question to you.
You know what? I don't have a good answer. I think we got to make that happen. I know
Absolutely,
we
absolutely,
I
man.
think we had kind of talked about that at one point, and then just let
I
all
think the
this
world
time
just
go
went
by,
south
and
at that point, you know.
yeah, haven't done anything with it.
Yeah,
You're in the South Bay, right?
yeah. I'm actually in San Carlos. So I'm on the peninsula. So
Oh, okay, okay. Well, yeah, we absolutely have to do that. Actually, I need to get over on that side because I understand that what's it called? Is it Lazari? Is that how you say it? The Lazari?
Lazarus, you need some of that wood, huh?
Yeah, yeah, and they're over there, right? Like San Bruno, I
Yeah,
think. Brisbane. So yeah,
Brisbane. They're out here.
so g- we gotta do that, and I also got to get back, on the Thursday, pitmaster chat as well. It's been too
Yeah,
many since I've been on there with you guys.
yeah,
So
yeah. Definitely, you should come out. You know, you should come on out, jump on it. I mean, I'll have to send you the new link. I changed the passcode every now and again, but for the most part, uh, it's same group of people. We've been
okay,
kind of scarce on guests for the last few months and everything.
yeah.
But it's
But kudos to you
it's
guys for keeping that going, because that's hard, hard to do, and it just shows your commitment, and just commitment and dedication to each other. So I think that's really cool that you guys have
definitely.
kept that going.
Well, one of the other times I felt a lot of love in the barbecue community was during the summer when I broke my hand. Uh, I mean, I was in a cast from here all the way down to here from my left hand, and I went up to this IG meetup. I'm sorry I didn't tell you to show up there,
No,
but
no worries.
I went up there and they wouldn't let me lift a thing. They wanted, to be able to put my stuff in the cooker for me. I brought my little rec tech up there. It's just, the outpouring from everybody. I'm sure it's like this in other communities, but, I mainly focus on the barbecue community at hand.
Right.
Uh, so that's, exactly what I do. I'm, for all the people that were there for me, I'll be there for you too. I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
it used to be I used to be able just to, when I wasn't working, when, 2020 had us shut down, I was able to be on Instagram all damn day. Didn't care. Now it's like, okay, I got to do this at this time. Then I got to respond to all this by here. And then when I'm waiting around, I got to do all this and respond some more. Then I got to go check out these people's posts here and here. So eventually I come around and I finally pick up everyone's post that, has, tagged me in it. And if I don't see your stuff, please, by all means, tag me in it. That's the way to get me to see it.
Right. I hear you. Let me just take a moment, just to also thank the folks that have joined us. Please go ahead, leave comments. So thanks. I see you guys out there: Wayne, Todd, Barbecue, Mike G, Scott Malone, Todd Weber. So thank you guys.
Ben Bo Malone, Todd Weber, he's out there too. I think he's
Yeah,
California, isn't he?
I'm not sure, but yeah, absolutely, guys. Feel free to you know, put a comment in. I'm not sure if Todd's whole comment is readable on the screen. It says, "People know when you're speaking from the heart and they appreciate it. the better off without the 10 you lost. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I think it's made me stronger. It's made me stronger as an individual.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you guys want to get on here and heckle me all you want, I mean, you guys can feel free to. There's a lot of material here to heckle me on, so feel free.
So
Our
here's a
visitors
question
allowed
for
in the
you.
Zoom meeting,
Yeah.
absolutely. Barbecue Mike G, hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you the link, but I'll give you guys this. Anybody is welcome in there. I don't care who you are, where you're from, whatever. If you want to join in, have some conversation with us about barbecue, ask questions, do whatever, anybody is welcome. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, male, female. I don't care which way you vote. It doesn't matter. Just come on, be yourself. That's all we ask. I don't care if you're cooking on, a $10 grill from Walmart, or if you're cooking on, whatever that thing is Traeger just released a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I that kind of caught me off guard. I see. Yeah, they came out with another smoker, so I don't know if it's any good or not. But I know when I think of you, I always think about you with that big heavy duty Yoder. So is
Yeah.
that and do you have more than one Yoder?
I've got like five of them.
Oh my, okay, that's what I. Well, I thought you had at least
Well, well,
two.
well, well. Actually, here, let's see. I've got a 480 at my house. I've got a 640 at my house. At the church, I've got a 640. Down in Australia, I've got a 480. I've got grills scattered throughout the Bay Area. I've
Okay.
got my I've got my Gorilla Grill Silverback right
There
there.
you go. Yep.
It's not at my house, but it's where I can use it. It's where I do a lot of cooking too. But yeah, I've got you know people call me a Yoder fanboy, so be it. I don't care. It's an American made product, just like the Mac 2 Star that you have is.
Right. Right.
Um, and Yoder has treated me pretty good. I mean, they've asked me for advice on a few things. I've become since I started this whole Instagram thing, I've become, ambassador for a few different companies and all that kind of stuff.
Go ahead, shout them out.
Neil Serap, Bear Mountain, Good Charcoal Company. I just came on with Gosney as a collaborator. Gosney Pizza Ovens as a collaborator. There's all kinds of people that just reach out to me. I mean, my inbox is full 99% of the time with people. Hey, can you check out our product? Can you
Yeah.
review our product for us? And it's like,
Yeah, sometimes you also gotta be ready to say no, and not
yeah.
just agree to review everything, especially if you just know in your heart that it's not really what you're trying to get into.
Well, so many people too. They see, a company that's reaching out to them, and they're immediately going to jump on it because everybody wants to be an ambassador for somebody.
Right.
You know, that's the end goal. They want to be an ambassador for somebody. They want to become famous. I don't. I can care less about the fame and fortune. I will rep companies that I feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
that I stand behind. Yoder, I stand behind them. Grill Grills, stand behind them. Uh, Neil Serap, definitely. Neil has been, 100% right behind me. And funny story about that is I was on one of these pitmasters chats that everyone, wants to join, and absolutely hit me up 100% after, uh, even while you're on here, send me a DM on Instagram or even on YouTube, and I'll shoot you the link for it. But it was one night, it was probably October or something, and I just mentioned, just kind of in passing, yeah, I'm, low on, what is it? Neil Surratt, the Southwest Tasty Sear. 2 days later, there's a package at the door. Who's it from? Neil Surratt. He knew I was hurting for money because I was out of work for about 8 weeks or so. And out of the goodness of his heart, he just sent it to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's when why keep a smoker in Australia? I've got family there, and I do go to Australia a lot. The last time I was there was 2019. I do cooks down there. Um, I haven't gone because Australia still has had their borders closed to the United States. But I do hope to get back there. It's actually a place I hold very near and dear to my heart. My family's from there. Um, and I've done a couple cooks down there and everything. And so I keep one down there just for when I go down there. I want the same, I want to be able to produce the same quality barbecue I produce here as I do anywhere else. Even though the
Right.
cut of meat is a lot different down there. They call it the beef shoulder, we call it a brisket. It's just whole different sort of stuff down there.
So what's king there in terms of the meats? Like here, I think everyone loves brisket, pork butt,
They
chicken.
they are getting on with again brisket, beef, pork, chicken. They're trying to do American barbecue the best they can with an Aussie twist to it. Is what they're doing down there.
And what do you find that there are particular types or brands of smokers that are or and grills that are more prominent there? Here we've got so many to choose
There's a
from.
lot of Weber. There's a
Yeah.
lot of Weber like the Smoky Mountain Cookers down there. There's also a lot of customs like the LSGs like you and I both have. There's Yoder down there. There's some Traegers down there as well.
Okay.
A lot of the big name manufacturers they ship all over the world. So you see them pop up from time to time here and there.
Yeah. So yeah. So I know like you mentioned before we got on that you got an LSG. Um, because I usually, I see you and I see a lot of stuff coming off of your Yoders, the pellets and everything. Do you have a preference?
You know what? I love my Yoders, and I still love my Silverbacks and my Chimp. I use my Chimp basically. Well, right now the trailer is in the shop, but that Chimp goes with me camping. So I take that with me
Nice.
camping. I put the idea in Yoder's head about a couple of years ago to, make something smaller than the 480 that was about under 100 pounds with a 15 to 20-pound hopper with collapsible legs. And they said they weren't looking to retool right now. If they made something that was about, even 100, 120 pounds that I could get in and out of the trailer, I would swoop in and buy that thing so quick.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just for me, it's basically what it is. It's customer service, and I know I did buy the RecTech last year because they were pumping it. The RecTech RT340, they were pumping that thing as 20-pound hopper. Doesn't have a 20-pound hopper. It's
Hmm.
15 at best.
Hmm.
So I bought it for that sake. In that they said it was Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Well, it's only Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth. I ended up having to call them out on a few of the
Okay.
things. Probably the worst decision I've ever made. I will probably end up selling that off and, maybe buying just another little chimp to, keep with me. I do use those two little grills at work from time to time when I do
Oh,
cook at work.
nice. Uh huh.
Well, it's because it's easy to get them into the back of the Durango and everything. If I do, you know, if I want to bring a Yoder, I have to, trailer it, or
Yeah.
I have to take one of the buses, that has a wheelchair ramp on it and put it up on the wheelchair ramp and then strap it down and all that kind of stuff.
Oh wow. So you've done
Well,
that though.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
So you are dedicated. That is cool.
yeah. I've done that a few times. But yeah, I'll cook at work. The best thing last year, 2020, was around May of 2021. The director of transportation, he bought a Weber propane grill, and I got paid for the day for just putting that dang thing together.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't have to do anything else. I went out to the shop where the mechanics are. They have an open bay. I just started putting that thing together. I got paid all day to, sit there, put it together. Of course, I took my time on it, and I, put it together. Then I did the burn in, and should have went over and got some meat and everything
Yeah.
else, and
Yeah,
ended up
I can
doing
relate.
it.
I can relate. I get on these calls at work, and some people, have know that I'm into barbecue, and the conversation or kind of like the icebreaker is with somebody, talking me up, asking me questions, about Q
Yeah,
and that type of thing. So I think once that word gets out, I mean that's it's kind of like one of those, kind of like sports. It's one of those universal things. That
absolutely.
people absolutely get into. So that's great.
One of the things I actually got myself into trouble for this. We were having a kind of a Christmas cookout, and this is right before we went on Christmas vacation. And the director of, I was talking to a couple of the guys from maintenance, which a couple electricians, and they were in there enjoying some food. And I said, you know, eat it up today because you're not going to get quality like this tomorrow at your guys' potluck. And they kind of laughed and everything. Next thing I know, when went out to shut down the grills, came back around, the director of maintenance jammed me up. And he's like, "Did you call my food? Did you say my food wasn't quality?" Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, well, what made you say I'm not cooking quality food? Well, what are you cooking? Hot dogs and
Oh,
hamburgers.
well, there it is.
Yeah, that's not quality in my mind. I just walked away, and he got pissed, and I thought he was going to write me up, and I would have loved to have a write up from him because that would have been a wall hanger. But
Right.
but since then, they had another cook that I was actually supposed to do, but I ended up taking that Friday off, and the unspeakable happened that night,
Mm.
and but I had jalapeno poppers ready to go because the director of transportation bought hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm like, well, I just talked myself into a corner. I can't let you guys get away, just do hot dogs and
Right.
hamburgers. And, so I was going to do jalapeno poppers. Well, that didn't happen. Uh, so no, so I've made sure, the next cookout had jalapeno poppers, did, lollipops, ribs, whole bunch of stuff. This cookout that we just had, we did like bunch of chicken, two different ways. Did it on the Pit Boss, Smokey Cue. What hat are you wearing? Looks like it is San Jose Giants. It is San Jose Giants. It is San Jose Giants, Mark. But yeah, I've been doing, producing quality cooks at work with limited amount of time that I can, and getting them out. People have asked me, show me how to do lollipops, show me how to do
Yeah.
jalapeno poppers. I showed some guy last week how to do jalapeno poppers on Friday. It was cool. It works out. You end up
Right.
teaching somebody, and that might be the next person that's up and coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's currently like your favorite, you know, favorite couple of things to cook out, to cook?
I did a smoked corned beef yesterday, and that thing's good.
I saw that. I saw that. It looked good.
That that was absolutely fabulous. I love just doing, just like the simple cooks. Ribeyes are one of my favorites. I do a lot of steaks, pork chops. I've been called the king of chicken lollipops, the king of pork chops. I don't do a whole bunch of fancy cooking. I think the way I look at it, right? I'm trying to get the point across to everybody is, hey, you can barbecue when you get home from work and have a full meal within probably, an hour, when you get home. And it's
Right.
not a whole lot of work to do. Uh, I think that's kind of just the home style cooking. I mean, you see, some people, especially the higher, end accounts that have 10,000, 20,000 people, they're, getting on there, they're posting once or twice a week, but they're doing these elaborate cooks. Well, I'm focusing on something more or less that, if you do have a grill with Wi-Fi, you can get away with doing this, during the week. Pop it on the grill before you go to work, pull it off, you know, wait a half an hour, slice the sucker up, and you've got some good meal right there, and
Right.
you really didn't have to work that much at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way, I'm kind of just got the few, four or five basic things that I do. I just like trying to do it different ways, you
Yeah,
know, but yeah, I mean, you can pretty much cook, anything, outside on a grill, a smoker, But it's just a matter of finding something that you're comfortable with, that you become really good at, and people enjoy.
absolutely.
I think people sometimes kind of psych themselves out. Yeah, when you are watching, videos and these clips of, this high end, fancy looking stuff, and you're
Well,
thinking,
the
well,
thing is, Kenyatta, and
what?
and you'll probably agree with me on this. On YouTube, and this is kind of why I got away from it, and I really don't like doing reels either. But
Hmm.
you're condensing a 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 hour cook down into 4 minutes.
Right,
You're trying to give them the basic facts of the cook, how to pull this off. You know, and some people look at it as, oh, this is just, great, or, sometimes you have to give them a little bit more information in the comments, and I don't mind doing that whatsoever. And I do have to get back into making, full on videos. I feel like I've totally abandoned my YouTube side of everything, and I don't blame people that unsubscribe to me. I really don't. I would wish they would also follow me on Instagram. See, I'm still, really active over there, but you're in the same boat as I am. It's kind of, you got to pick one or the other. I mean, I'm on
right.
TikTok too, and I don't like TikTok as much as I do Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also challenged with TikTok as well. Because yeah, you keep hearing, that's where you got to be. That's where all the growth is. But so I'm still
No,
kind of dabbling, but I haven't done many TikToks. But yeah, you gotta stick with what you really feel comfortable with, what works. And
but
if
trying to condense a cook down into a minute or less is absolutely hard. It just shows that
yeah,
most of this upcoming generation, the Gen Z and everything, they have the attention span of a gnat. Basically, the grocery
exactly.
store ads determine my menu exactly. I mean, Costco too. I'll be walking through Costco, whatever's the cheapest there, I'll grab. And don't be afraid to go to the business center of Costco either. Grab yourself, one of those big old pork loins, and you can make yourself some pork chops that are that thick, or however much you want. Or you can actually do the whole pork loin if you want. If you're having a big, party and everything.
Right, right. Now, one of the other things that we have in common is I know that you also cook for your church, as
Yeah.
well.
Oh
So
yeah.
how did that come about, or what's your inspiration in that sense?
Oh, that came about. Let's see. I've been at that church for like 7 years now, and I ended up actually getting kicked out of the last church I was in for running my mouth for other reasons. But I used to cook there too, and I was cooking on a Weber kettle.
Hmm.
And then and they were having barbecues once, twice a year, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I got to the new church that I was at, and I asked them if they had a barbecue. No. Okay, so I just went out and bought a propane grill. Got one of them, brought it over, and I started just cooking wings for wings or chicken or whatever I could do on a propane grill. It wasn't gonna be as tasty as something that's coming off a smoker, but it was something that was done as a live cook, and it absolutely changed the total dynamic
Yeah.
of the potlucks because they're getting something that wasn't heated an hour and a
Right.
half beforehand. It has been cooling down the whole time. These were coming off the grill. I mean, you could see me walking through service, and then I'd be walking out, checking the grill, coming back in, pulling stuff off, running around like an ant all during service. And then I ended up bringing one of my silverbacks up to the church, and I ended up selling that off to a friend at a really, really discounted price. He wanted a grill. He was going to go for Traeger. I said, for, X amount of dollars, I'll sell you this thing, right? And he's like, can I make payments? Absolutely. I trust you. I know where you work and everything. He's a work friend as well. So you know, I ended up buying, originally, I bought the 480 to go at the church.
Hmm.
And I realized after doing a couple of cooks on that, this isn't going to be big enough. So I swapped out one of my 640s that I had at the house for the 480, and I put one of the 640s up there. So right now I'm cooking on a 640 up there, and it holds its own. It's really really good. But by the time I got it up there, we weren't doing any barbecues up there. I hope to bring that back.
Yeah.
I tried last week. We were supposed to be starting live services last week. Well, I got that Gosney pizza oven on Friday. I tried it on Friday. Try and fail, try and fail. Saturday worked out a little bit better. Sunday, I brought it up to the church. I cooked on it. I told, the priest, hey, put the message out that, we're going to have, you know, pizza after church, be making a couple pizzas, or turned out to be 8 pizzas. But
Nice.
just to kind of try to draw people back. But
Right.
he didn't put it out in enough time to let people actually read their email, or else I think there would have been a lot more people coming. But yeah, I really want to get back into that. I miss having the ability of cooking on a Sunday, getting to the church at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and cooking, ribs or whatever, turkeys on Thanksgiving, or not on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, but the weekend before Thanksgiving, I would always do turkey with all the trimmings, because not a lot of people, they don't have family where they can go to and have a turkey or ham or whatever Thanksgiving dinner. So this is basically the Thanksgiving dinner that they can have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Our church is kind of easing back into like um, having food. But they still, I think they're just trying to be really cautious and trying to see what people are comfortable with. Um, so yeah, it's been, I haven't been asked yet, to do some barbecue, but I agree with you. You kind of miss that because it I don't know, it just gives your barbecue even more purpose, when you are cooking
It
that way
does.
for
It,
a
it
group of
really does.
people. Yeah, so I'm kind of missing that too. Let's see, barbecue, Mike,
Burnt offerings. Oh
burnt
yeah. Oh yeah.
offerings.
Well, I there we usually do what's called the Harvest Festival at the church once a year, and they always have a chili cook off there. Well, I'm going to do, they're supposed to have it this year. It didn't happen. And they're going to do it. Hope they're going to do it this year, because every single year I've been there, I've watched that, award walk out of the church, or it's walked out off the property to someone else. And I want to bring it back. It needs to be at Good Shepherd. That's where it needs to be.
All
So,
right.
that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to bring that back.
So now have
And
you? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
and even if they don't want me competing under the church name, as I'm doing this for the church, I'll compete under the Smokey Cue name. I don't care. you know Either way, the winnings are going to go right back into the church for the next potluck. That's the way I look at it.
So is this like a kind of like a KCBS event, or is this something more
No, this
like
is just a
local?
kind of like neighborhood event, basically.
Okay, got it, got it.
It's
And
just
then
like neighborhood people from the neighborhood bring in their chili, which they think is
yeah, yeah.
5 star or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I could beat you easy enough. Just give me a second.
Now, have you ever thought about doing one of the formal barbecue competitions?
I have, I have,
Or
and
have
I
you
have
done it?
competed. Oh, I've competed.
Oh, okay, okay. How
I've
was
been
that?
disqualified.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
big.
so what's your feel on that whole thing? Like, is it something you'd consider doing again, or have you been there, done that, or How was that?
Right now, with everything that I've kind of been through within the last few months, I'm not really ready to compete right now again. I'm gonna let it go just a little bit more, um, and
Yeah.
just see how I feel. I'm not ready to compete. That's just my feelings on it. I just need to get stuff squared away, and everything else in my life. And then when I am ready to do it, I'll come in full force like I usually do.
And then when you did it, I mean, did you? Because I haven't competed. I've only like judged at some events, but I've never competed. And people are always saying, "Oh, you need to compete. You need to get in on that." And I just kind of have mixed feelings. So I don't know.
I've,
How did
I've done a
how did
bunch
you
of
feel about
backyard
it? Yeah.
competitions and everything. I've done a bunch of backyard stuff, and that's always been kind of fun to do. I did the pig jig, and I got disqualified
Now,
out of
why
it.
why did you get
Uh,
disqualified?
am I allowed to cuss on here? Because it's a bunch of bullshit. That's why.
Okay. Okay.
Because of a bunch of bullshit. Someone was next to me, and it happens down at the San Jose Giants Municipal Stadium.
Hmm.
So I know everybody that works there. So one of the guys came up to me, asked me, "Hey, Johnny, do you need anything? I'm gonna go on lunch break. Do you need anything?" I said, "Yeah. Pick me up a couple Arizona iced teas and some blueberries so I can infuse the sauce. Right? No big deal." Well, the woman that was next to me told the judges that I brought in already cooked meat, and that I was passing it off
Okay.
as cooked here. So it's just a bunch of
Yeah.
BS. Uh, Mark, no, I am in San Carlos. I am still in the Bay Area, though. Well,
So, I mean, that's kind of why I haven't competed. Because I don't know. I guess just the ones that I've been around, and I don't know. I just don't know that that's why I barbecue. I don't know. So
I mean,
I just haven't
it's
found
fun to
that
do it.
bug. I'll say that
I mean,
again.
it's fun to do it. I mean, if you
Yeah,
wanted to compete, Kenyatta, I would, I would definitely team up with you any day of the week, man. Absolutely. I mean,
well, that's what I would definitely need someone who's been experienced, because I wouldn't want to just go out there and wing it. But I
yeah,
don't know. I just haven't gotten that bug, to want to compete. I'm not even sure if I want to go back to judging either. I don't
yeah,
know, just kind of on the judging side, just heard a lot of stuff, that just doesn't seem to be aligned with, what it's supposed to be about, so it kind of turned me off a little bit, but that's neither here nor
yeah,
there.
yeah. And it will. Can you just turn that light that way a little bit? But yeah, it will. I mean, sometimes you get jaded on it. You go in, you win. Sometimes you go in, you lose, and um, it works. It all works out in the long run.
Yeah.
That's what it always does. I mean, you can go. I was at SCA competition. I saw some guy go berserk just because he couldn't just cook the ancillary.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I was him, I would have just taken those two ribeyes, and went home. Taking the two ribeyes, cooked the ancillary, and went home and had two nice steaks for dinner.
Definitely. Definitely not worth being out there getting all, worked up, one way or the other, for sure.
Exactly. But I've also done a lot of cooks where, like Pacific Flyways up in Dixon, they'll invite me to come up. Hey, we're having customer appreciation. Can you come cook for us? Yes.
Hmm.
Can you come do this? Neil Serapis sent me on a few things to, hey,
Oh,
can you,
nice.
the store's having trouble selling, this product. Can you go up there and just see what's going on, or can you, go up there and push the product, be an ambassador, go cook and, you know, push the product and, kind of, just help us out. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's what ambassadors are supposed to do.
Absolutely. So Um, you mentioned, yeah, that you're an ambassador with Neil for Neil Serap. Um, which like let's give him a plug here. Do you have and
Me? Okay.
I heard that loud and clear. Um,
Yeah, me too.
do you have any of his rubs that you really really prefer, like favorite go to Neil Serap rubs?
The whole line with
Yeah.
Neil's raps is great. My Probably my favorite top three, and it keeps going in rotation because I like to do different flavors. So you'll see me use one rub repeatedly for a while, and then I'll use the next rub a little more repeatedly. I think I just blurred out or something. I'm getting blurry, but my favorite one is the OG Dam.
Okay.
Uh, and then Southwest Tasty Sears Southwest Beef is another good one.
Okay.
And then for the runners up, God, why are you making me do this, Kenyatta? It's like choosing your favorite children almost. But it depends on the flavor I want. He's got a great jerk seasoning.
Well, actually,
So he's
that's
got
where I was. That's kind of where I was going, because I know that he's got like a pretty much a different rub for whatever. Like I see
oh,
all types
definitely.
of different stuff. Seems like he's got at least maybe 15 to 20 different rubs, and I always
Right
see.
now he is.
Yeah.
Right now he is on 10 rubs right now,
Okay.
and I think there's a couple in the works. And obviously, I can't say much of anything
Yeah. Yeah.
about it, but there are. He's always working on creating something. He just recreated his sauce again and put it out, and it's better than what it was. It's great. I love it for what it is.
Okay.
Um, and it's absolute. The sauce is banging. Uh, he's got an Asian rub that if you guys want to do like Asian inspired stuff, that will work out as well. Um, he's got the wild game seasoning. That's good. I use that a lot on pork chops,
Hmm.
but it doesn't matter. You can use whatever one of his rubs on almost anything you want. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it just
Definitely
kind of
has
works.
a strong um collection, strong collection going, and
Absolutely.
always seeing posts from different people, on Instagram, um, touting it as well. So definitely he's making
Yeah.
some great stuff, great stuff.
Yeah. He's got a lot of great seasonings and everything. I mean, if you guys out there want to try it, go to neilsrap.com, enter the code Smokey15, and I'll get you 15% off your order.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Well, all right, man. So anything else you wanna shout out or plug or anything?
Just everybody that has followed me so far up until now, I want to thank each and every one of you. Everyone that has stuck by my side for the last year, that has known what I've been going through. Thank you so much, Kenyatta. We've been following each other since day one. I think
Right.
3 years ago. Absolutely, you've been the man. So thank you for all of your support, everything you've done. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's Smokey Cue. I'm the same on YouTube. It's the same on TikTok and probably Twitter as well. Even though I haven't done anything on that in probably a year. So
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Again, I'm really glad we were finally able to do this. Like I said at the beginning, you were like the first person that I met that I really made like a real personal kind of connection with. like on Instagram and everywhere like that. And I just admire what you do. I admire the daily lives where you're just checking in, just letting
Oh
folks
yeah,
know what's going on. Also admire that that weekly pitmaster Zoom call
yeah.
that
The
you guys.
pitmasters chat, that's
Yeah.
still strong. I
So I
mean,
did.
the next step for us, man, is we gotta get together one of these days and we gotta cook, or at least just meet up and have lunch, one of the two.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So, um, yeah, definitely have to get out of the talking about it phase and actually making it happen.
Yeah.
So this was
Hey, I
a
met your
good first
cousin
step.
not long before I met you, man.
Yeah. Um, and I can't, and actually it would be really nice, if we catch him, too, when he comes back
Oh,
up to the Bay Area.
definitely,
So
definitely.
that would be really cool too. So. Well, all right, guys. So appreciate everyone for taking a little bit of time out on a Friday evening to check me and Johnny out here. If you like what you see on the Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue channel, please tell a friend, share the videos, look for Johnny on Instagram and YouTube, like
Nada,
you
just drop a
said.
link to my Instagram in the on the description of the
I
video,
will.
or if not, I'll drop it in there as well.
I will
So
actually. There should be, yeah. Your handle should already be in the description that went out with this live. So it's Smokey Q, no space between the Y and the C, just all one, one
yeah,
long word at Smokey Q. So you can find
yeah.
Johnny. He's posting some great stuff over there on Instagram. So check us both out. So again, thanks everyone. Have a great
Nada is a
weekend.
pleasure.
Stay safe. Johnny, thank you for coming on, man. Again, I
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
absolutely, Nada.
And, if I don't, well, I want to get back on the Pitmaster Zoom, but then
I'll send
also,
you the link for it.
okay. And then we also got to get together, and do something, in person. So definitely
Absolutely.
gotta do that. And let me just put this up here. So thank you,
Thank you,
Todd.
Todd.
Have a great weekend. Barbecue Mike G, thank you for chiming
Thank you,
in with
Mike.
your comments as well. So appreciate everyone. All right, we're gonna sign off. Take care. Have a great weekend.
See you, Kenyatta.
All
Thank you.
right. Thanks again, man.
Thank you, man.